Live on YouTube and Google+, it's Pageant Live. This is the place for glamour and style. Get great pageant tips you won't find anywhere else. Find out what you need to know before your next pageant. Post your questions and comments for our panel during the show. Learn great ideas about all aspects of pageantry. Here we go. Pageant Live starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Pageant Live. I am Paige, the former Maryland International Junior Miss. I would like to thank all of you for coming tonight, and thank you to our viewers as well. Tonight our guests will be discussing their craziest pageant stories. But before we meet our guests this evening, I'd like to start by introducing Pageant Live's producer and owner, Pamela Purvett.
I'd like to welcome everyone. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, but you know what? We're all a team here. We stay together till we got everyone here on the show. I want to thank everyone. I'm sure you know or have heard this is our last show of the season. We will be back in the fall, but we do have some special educational shows that will be going on, so we're not totally going to be away. Stephanie will be doing an Ask the Crown special. She will be one-on-one interviewing with different people, so we'll still be on the internet, okay? But thank you very much for joining us. Paige, back to you.
Thank you, and I would also like to introduce our co-host for the night, Miss Stephanie McGrane, who is International Super Miss.
Steph.
And I think she's muted.
Hi, everybody. So excited to be here. Thank you, Paige. I'm Stephanie McGrane, International Super Miss, and so excited for our show tonight of our craziest pageant stories. And I want to thank all of the viewers for checking out PageantLIVE.com. We've gotten over 73,000 hits, so we're very excited for all of you coming to check us out. And when you're there, please stop by Ask the Crown. We have lots of great questions posted along with answers. We invite you to also post your responses to the questions as well. And we want to thank all of the viewers for joining us tonight. And also, and one more thing, Paige. One more thing, if you have a question, please send it to askthecrown@gmail.com. I'll do my best to research the answer and get it posted for you. Okay, Paige, back to you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. We also have a pageant showcase page which highlights some fabulous pageant systems. So directors, if you're interested in advertising your systems for free on our page, you can email us at show@pageantlive.com. And of course, we would also like to thank Pageant Live sponsor Royal Bliss Boutique. They have a gorgeous selection of pageant gowns, prom dresses, swimwear, anything you could really think of, they have it. So be sure to click on Royal Bliss's link on the Pageant Live website.
And when you're there, also click on the link for Skull Sugar Cosmetics, another one of Pageant Live's sponsor. They have an incredible line of natural, cruelty-free products without fillers and talc and things like that. I'm wearing some of Skull Sugar's cosmetics tonight. Love them, very luxurious. The color just goes on so great. Love it. Be sure to check them out at PageantLIVE.com. When you are placing your order, be sure to put in Pageant20 in the promo code for 20% off of your order.
Also, if you have any questions for any of the guests tonight, you can send those to the Pageant Live Facebook, our YouTube page, or you can email us at or you can tweet us at Pageant Live. You can also email us, show@pageantlive.com. So now we would like to introduce all of our guests tonight, and we are going to start with Latasha. If you want to introduce yourself and tell us your title.
Well, hi, I'm Latasha Haskins, and I'm the 2013 Today's American Ms.
Thank you so much. And now we will go to Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I am Mrs. Parker County 2013, and I recently just been crowned Mrs. North Central Texas 2013. So I'm real excited about that.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you.
And next we will go to Raven.
Hi guys, my name is Raven Reed and I am the reigning Miss North America Galaxy, and I am so excited to be competing in the Miss Galaxy International Pageant coming up this August against all kinds of beautiful women, so totally looking forward to that, and I've been having so much fun with my reign so far, so nice to meet you all.
Thank you so much, Raven. We're glad to have you. And now we will go to Stephanie.
Hi, everybody. So excited to be here. Excited to be here in our last regular episode of Pageant Live with Paige, the beautiful founder of the show. And looking forward to hearing about all kinds of our craziest pageant moments and stories. And this may be the last time that I come on with the red crown, at least on a regular Pageant Live show, because in just a few short weeks I'll be passing along my crown, my International Super Ms. crown at America's Super Pageant. So this is kind of a sad moment. I was thinking about that before the show started, so it's sad. I come on a lot with the red crown, but I just want to thank Pam and Paige for the wonderful opportunities that you've provided me and allowed me to be such a big part of Pageant Live. So thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Stephanie. What are you going to do with the red wardrobe that you have that match your crown?
Good question.
Stephanie, everything's red in Stephanie's wardrobe now.
Yeah, right, exactly. Aww. But
I know, and her beautiful red earrings from Royal Bliss.
That's right, the red earrings from Royal Bliss. Love
We
them.
all love those. And did you want to introduce yourself again, Mom or Pam?
No, let's go. I want to hear some crazy stories.
Me too. Okay.
We've already had a crazy night
I know.
already.
All right. Well, Latasha, can you tell us one of your craziest pageant stories?
Yes, I kind of have a crazy, but it's like an embarrassing one, I guess. That's kind of the direction I want to go, if that's okay. So, okay. Well, my very first year ever doing a pageant was in 2008 in the Miss Plus America system, and can you guys still see? Okay, there you go. All right. And I was actually chosen to be followed by this like reality show type crew, and so they were like literally like everywhere following me around, and I get out of preliminaries and I'm just flustered and I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and they were just like in my face and they were just like, well, how do you feel? And I actually didn't make top 5, so I was a little, I'm not gonna lie, my first year I was a little brat about it, didn't have the most spirit. I definitely didn't get the spirit stick that year. And they were just in my face with these cameras, and they were like, how do you feel? I'm like, how do you think I feel? You know, get out of my face. And of course that made good TV, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And so they just kept following me, and, you know, I had my little moment and everything. So that was like a really crazy experience to be on, you know, being filmed every move you made. And, you know, I mean, I was like, what's going on here? But the second thing that happened to me was actually my outgoing year of Miss Plus America. And I did this opening number. I looked good. You know, I was the outgoing Miss Plus America. This is in 2011. And I'm doing my little dance, and it's my turn to, you know, walk down the stage and go down the steps. Well, the chaperones must have been so in awe of how attractive I was that they forgot to get up to help me down the stairs.
Oh.
And so my heel got caught on the step, and this is at finals in front of everybody. It's my outgoing moment, and I fall. Literally 3 steps down, barely missed the judges' table by my, you know.
Oh, God.
And I was just like, yes. And I got up, and I kind of like, I don't know if it was adrenaline. It like rushed to the back, and I was crying, and it was more embarrassment, you know. But I was like, oh my gosh, I was so mortified. I was like, I'm not going back out there. I'm not crowning my successor. You know, I was really embarrassed. But, you know, I sucked it up, got it together, and went out there and did my final walk. But anyway, so those are kind of my crazy / embarrassing moments.
Well, good for you going back out there. Yes, yes.
Well, what are you going to do? Crawl off? I bet you wanted to, though, Latasha, didn't you?
I did it. Everyone was like, are you okay? I sat back there, too, for a while. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this.
You were, Stephanie, that's like, give me a drink, right? That was one of the songs.
Seriously.
It's
Right.
actually really
so
funny
sweet.
that Latasha brings that up because my very first pageant, I had the worst, well, I wouldn't say the worst experience because it turned out great, but it was Sunburst actually was a pageant system, and it was their top model competition, and you're supposed to slate your name, your age, and your height, and I was like, oh, this is easy, so I slated my name, my age, and my height backstage at least 10,000 times, like no joke, and I'm so proud and confident. It's my first pageant, first category of the day. I walk right up there, I grab the microphone, and I'm like, hello, I am 14-year-old Raven Reed, and I stand at the height of 6'4". And anybody that knows that I'm like 5'0" and I'm like, so I recover and I'm like, just kidding. I wish I was 6'4", but I'm really 5'0". And I ended up winning the category. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
See, you were memorable.
I guess. It was so funny. So mortifying. First thing, first pageant. I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, if this says anything about my career.
Well, at least you saved yourself. That was a good save.
It was pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
That is too funny. What about you, Michelle? Do you have any crazy pageant stories for us?
Oh, the first time that I was in my pageant, and I felt my adrenaline. It was just pumping, and I was so excited, and I was so thrilled just to be a part of it. And one of the most funny things is that we had gone all that afternoon, and you ladies know you're up at the crack of dawn, and you're there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're in rehearsals, and you're dancing, and you're practicing, and you barely have any time just to get a drink of water. Well, I had gone all that morning and all during lunchtime. I skipped lunch, and it came down to the pageant hour, and it was boom, the first thing right after we had opening number. Then what is next? That on-stage question. Oh, it was so awful because my blood sugar just dropped, and I had nothing else in me. My mouth was so dry, I could not even formulate a sentence to save my life. And I was the second person to go out on stage. So as soon as they call my name and I go out on stage, and all of a sudden, and he asked the most perfect question that I could, and had I been all together, I just would have been able to just to wit it right on out. But I couldn't speak. I literally could not speak. And I think I mumbled something, and he turned, and when I looked at him, his eyes were just so huge. Like, what is this girl saying? About that time, my husband, I walked off the stage, and my husband knew that I had to get something in me. And all the girls, you know, you guys had mentioned earlier about teamwork. Those girls, we all just pulled together, and they're like, Michelle, what's wrong? And I said, I need food. And about that time, everyone, they had gone out into the audience, and they had come up with goldfish and dried cranberries and a teeny tiny bottle of water that they were able to get me. And by the time it came to evening gown, I think I pretty much pulled it together, but everything else until then was just a blur. And I did not place, but after I received my scores online, that I rocked my other interviews, the one-on-one interviews, but it was just the on-stage, I totally bombed it. But I will say this, I won the Best Evening Gown and Miss Congeniality, so at least I did. But other than that, I was completely mortified. So that was my experience. So ladies, eat and drink and stay fully hydrated.
That's right.
Good reminder. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. And whenever you have the opportunity, have your bag of go-to snacks, because that is very long hours of just just rehearsals, and it's grueling. So grab your snacks and have your waters. That's my advice.
I know.
Yeah.
That actually happened to me too. I think my mom can tell you that I was asked an on-stage question and it was deer in headlights. I could not think. I could not even process what the question was. I just blurted something out and I ran off stage. I couldn't do it.
I was so proud.
No, I was embarrassed. I was like, all these people came to see me, and I just said something so random.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was mortified.
I was too.
And people that know me, they know that broadcasting runs through me. So I am not a shy person, but I'm just glad that my husband knew something's wrong. This girl needs food.
Yeah, well, that was my first on stage question ever. Well, my first pageant too.
Hey, excuse me, Paige. We have a shout out to Tim, Pageant Cast. Yay!
Hi,
he says
Pageant
hi.
Hi, Tim. We'll see you soon at America's Super
That's
Pageant.
right. Say great show, ladies.
What about you, Stephanie? Do you have any stories for us?
You know what? Well, Raven, this is when I was at the Galaxy pageant. I had my little spray tanning machine that I bought, and the night before we're in the hotel room and I'm spray tanning, and it's just getting all fumy and spray tanny in the room, and the fire alarm goes off, and oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, and then I'm pulling out the
Jack, why did you do that?
trying to blow it away from the fire alarm, and it was really embarrassing. I thought I was going to get in trouble, whatever. Nothing came of it, but it was very embarrassing. I can also tell you, last year, oh my gosh, one of my main goals of going to America's Super Pageant, okay, I had lined up one of the best hair and makeup artists to come and do my hair and makeup at the pageant. All set, had it lined up for months. I was ready, so excited for that. And then the Saturday of pageant weekend, I'm there, I'm getting ready. I get a message that says she's not coming.
Oh, no.
I completely freaked out. I was like, oh my God. So I was crying, I was upset, I was like, oh my God. And I finally pulled myself together, and then it was kind of like a group effort, and someone did my lashes, somebody else did my hair, and anyway, it all worked out because I won, but it was crazy. So talk about something to really, knock your world when you don't need it. It was crazy.
Wow, at least you won.
Tell them about your crazy roommate that you had.
And no, first I want to talk about, that reminded me of when my mom and I thought that we could do my hair for one of my pageants. So we started freaking out. She actually cut my hair at the pageant. Then we decided that we were going to find someone to do my hair last minute. We call up this guy, spend hundreds of dollars. My mom's not there while I'm getting all this done, and we're just rushing. I'm getting my makeup and my hair done. My mom sees me, and she's like, "It looks great." And I could just tell, like, oh my gosh, no, it doesn't. I look in the mirror.
Hair.
My hair is just fuzz. Like, it's just a ball of fuzz on top of my head.
No, she had it on. It was awful.
And I just went on stage. I was like, at this point, I can't do anything. I just went on stage like that. That was horrible.
Paige, you remember in USA that Bobby was telling us about that woman whose boyfriend kept her on the phone the whole night and kept her roommate up because they were arguing, and all night long this other roommate had to sit there and listen to her boyfriend and this contestant argue and fight, and the woman ended up going into the bathtub to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah,
awful.
when you have a roommate, you never know who you're going to get. And Paige, I don't think you could ever look bad, ever.
No, you don't if you saw this, I just knew by the look on my mom. My mom didn't have to say anything. She lied too. Oh, it looks so good. Because she wanted me to go out there and be confident, but I just knew. I was like, thanks, Mom.
Oh.
Stephanie, I was going to say at least I never have to worry about the airbrush spray tanning issue.
Yeah.
Gotta have that natural tan
beautiful
thing going on.
skin.
So
You're lucky.
I empathize with you,
I
but
have to worry about that. And to let you know, I got rid of that tanning machine. Now I do the bad tanning. I know, bad, but yes. It was bad. It was made me nervous. It made me embarrassed, but everything worked out.
Paige, you remember that time, the last time you competed, that someone put glass in someone's shoes?
Uh-huh.
Tell them about that.
Isn't that awful? Why would someone do that? But I guess they wanted to win or something.
What did they put it? Somebody put on their shoes and they found a bunch of glass in it?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Serious. That's
You
too
know
far.
what? Sometimes people will do it's just like any other sport out there. Sometimes people will do whatever it takes to win, whether it's, within pageantry or any other sport. And I think that's one thing that people misconceive about pageantry is that, we're all a bunch of catty drama queens. And I think that they forget that almost every other sport, activity, and event has the same kind of things that kind of take place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like everybody's the first one to point fingers at us. And I totally think are all pageant girls innocent? I don't think so. But I also know that there's a lot of other people out there that aren't so innocent. So I will say, although there are some crazy things like that happen, I don't think you see that all the time.
Right.
Right. It can be really competitive.
Right. Even outside of, I was telling Stephanie previously, even outside of the pageant, at our little national pageant, international pageant, state pageants, whatever it may be, I was telling Stephanie I was doing an event and the event was over and there was a Starbucks in the venue and I was so excited. I'm like, yes, I get my green tea latte with my soy. So I order it and I told her, please make sure you use a little bit of matcha powder because I'm extremely allergic to caffeine. And she's like, sure, no problem. So
Oh, no.
I'm like, yeah, so I grab my drink and I take a swig of it. I didn't pay attention to her making it. I take one swig of it. The girl put a shot of espresso in my drink. I instantly started shaking and my vision goes extremely blurry and it's like an instant migraine and you could just see her kind of snickering in the background and I obviously told the manager. So not only in pageantry but people outside of pageantry definitely look at beauty queens and I think the first thing that comes to their mind is an eye roll. And I just think that that's what they've kind of painted a picture of on reality TV. So that's where I'm just I think we all deal with those crazy little stories where you have a run-in with somebody that might not agree with what you're doing or understand what you're doing. And I know that was one of them. And I'm like, really? You could have just killed me.
Oh my gosh.
No,
That's
no.
awful.
Raven, you make a good point. I mean, it's a competition. I think I told you before, when I used to be in competitive racquetball, within the first 5 minutes, I would always get hit. Just magically get hit by the ball or the racket. Now, this was a higher level racquetball, and they did it for intimidation. So a lot of what you're talking about is mind games, intimidation, because sometimes there's a lot of money, a lot of photo shoots, a lot of contacts that you meet in pageantry. So it is a competition.
Totally. And I know even just previously I competed and I showed up to a pageant and I was so excited. My entire wardrobe was all custom and I was so hyped up about it. And I go into the dressing room and the minute I throw on my fashion wear, the entire dressing room was in an uproar. Oh my gosh, somebody has your same exact outfit. You guys are right after each other. Oh my gosh. And it was instant mind games. And you know what I found? A lot of the people that were oh my gosh, and such an outrage about it were actually girls that I was competing against. So it was almost like a mind game that they were playing and it totally got the best of me. And you know what? After I got off the stage, I was so frustrated, and you could just tell on my face. I'm like, how awful is this? It was the exact same outfit, but it was just in two totally different colors. And you know what? When I got off the stage, I really had to remind myself, you know what? I should have gotten out there and worked it 110% because it's not about what I'm wearing. It's how I wear it and how I work that outfit. And that's where I'm like, you know what? Doesn't even matter. I could wear a potato sack right now. And as long as I feel good and I know I look good, then forget everything else. So definitely there are some mind games.
That's right.
Yeah, do you know what? In one Page's that was the parade of gowns, all the girls had to bring their gowns down. And what would happen is that the girls would go back upstairs and switch out their gowns.
Just
Yeah,
like,
I never brought mine down.
did y'all hear about the one where the bottom of the evening gown, one of the girls, when they were ready to put it on, someone had stitched the bottom of her evening gown.
Oh my God.
That's just not, that's not fair.
Evil.
That
Yeah,
is.
it's not, and something I always tell my children, there is nothing wrong with good competition. It makes us stronger and it makes us better.
Right.
I'm sorry, but my character and my morals are so much higher than any crown that I'll ever wear. Like, I absolutely love my titles, and I want to win, obviously, any pageant that I go into and I compete in. But at the end of the day, I will never sacrifice my morals and who I am as a person and, like, rip somebody's dress, put glass in her shoes, do the mind game thing. It's just crazy to me. Yeah, you have to have a strong sense of integrity, and if you don't have that, then why are you doing this? Because to me, that's not a trait of a queen. So you want somebody that's strong in character and has good integrity, and that's like, no.
Let's say this. Let's just say this is not a majority. This is a minority.
No, you do not.
You know?
No. This is rare occasions. Does it happen? Yes, but not all the time. I know I've had plenty of friends that are new into the pageant system, and I warn them, you know, there are girls out there that are willing to basically befriend you just because they want to hurt you. And it is sad that there are very few people out there like that, but the majority of people in the pageant world are so kind, and it's incredible how we can all come from totally different regions, different countries, and all the things that we have in common. So for everybody to sit and show up and be catty, I think so many people just totally toss that out for most, especially international pageants, because you're so enticed in learning and meeting about the other girls that you're there with that all that cattiness kind of just flies out. You'll get one bad apple in the bunch, but just throw that one
everywhere.
out. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but that's everywhere.
I was going to say I'm a pageant director as well, and when I'm working with my girls, first thing I tell them, I say, I don't even want you to even be concerned about anybody else, because you can't change who they are, and your goal is to show the judges that you are the right person for the job, not worry about them. And so I think that's just a really big thing, and when people do those kind of things to sabotage other people, really it's just a reflection on their character and how they view themselves, and that they have basically discredited their ability to win the title, that they have a fear that they don't have what it takes, or why else would they do it. And so I usually try to, place them and have them look in other people's shoes and say, okay, they're obviously going through something, but you're not going to even worry about them. I don't want you looking at the program book. I don't want you looking at the website to see who you're competing against, because that's not going to change anything. They're going to be who they are. But who do you have control over? Yourself. And your job is to say, hey, I'm the right fit for the job, regardless of what I look like, what my demographic is, where I come from, how old I am. And that's really what, the focus that I try to take on the whole thing. So when people do stuff that's crazy, like what you were talking about, Raven, I'm like, you know what? They obviously have issues. I'm still going to do me regardless. And like whether it's in a potato sack or the gown that I had them made.
Well, I'm going to say this, Paige, is that I feel so fortunate that when the last pageants that I have been in, it was just, we were sister queens together, and there was not one bad person in there, and we just all pulled together. And it's just like, for example, whenever I had the hypoglycemic moment, all those girls, all my sister queens, they all pulled together, and they really helped me. And I think that's what it is too. We're united in this, and I think as long as, there's going to be few of those women or people that will do something like that, but as long as we all just stick together, and the ones that have that moral and that integrity, we just lift and build each other up. I think that's the positive thing, is whenever we have this crown, it's an honor, and I really feel very, very blessed to just wear it.
I always say you are your own worst enemy. You can literally drive yourself crazy, and I think that is one of the pageant industry in today's world, total all-around craziest moment. I'm telling you what, with all the social media that we have right now, it is so accessible to see who your competition is. And it's like, first, you know, they're friending you, or maybe you're friending them, and then next thing you know, you're like on Google for 5 hours, like checking on all your competition. I mean, let's be honest, there's so many of us that do it because it's so accessible on social media today. So I definitely think, I mean, if you're a pageant girl and you sit and say, oh, I've never looked at my competition, I think I would have to say you're lying. That's just me personally. Like, I know sometimes, even if it just comes across on your Facebook wall, I mean, you're going to tell me you're not just going to click it and be like, oh, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I think we all have that kind of crazy in us.
For sure, and not even just about pageants, about a lot of things. I know in school I always psych myself out for tests and things like that. So it's not just pageants.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Not turning the tables or anything, but my girlfriend just reminded me, there is a hilarious story about National Pageant last year. We actually were supposed to be spray tanned by our makeup artist, and like literally the day before the pageant, she was like, I wasn't able to get my equipment here, so I'm sorry, you girls don't get a spray tan. And we're like, really? So we're like on the phone calling up a million salons, so we find somebody that's like, I'll come to you. It's a mobile service, it's great. We're like, this is perfect. So obviously she was only planning on setting up in one room. Well, there was 2 of us, right? Well, we all know in order to get spray tan for a pageant, you should not have any tan lines, right? And we all know what that entails. So obviously, yes, we have to go in the buff to get spray tan. And I show up into the room, and my girlfriend is walking around like totally in her birthday suit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too much. Like, I've seen too much of you now. And she was like, well, you better prepare yourself because you're next. And I'm like, great. So we're like walking around, and we're like, okay, we have now seen more of each other than we have ever wanted to see. And then next thing we know, we hear like a beating on the door, and we're like,
no.
oh no. Like, it's her 2 daughters, and they're like, we want to come in. We want to go to bed. And we're like, no. So needless to say, in order to get to the bedroom part of the hotel, we had to allow them to pass by. So the daughters were just like, oh my gosh, women. It was
See how
so
fortunate
funny.
you are, Latasha. You don't have to walk around in your skin sweater.
Yes.
No.
Unless you want to.
I mean, I could just on GP, I guess, but you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like coming. I'm brown naturally, so I'm okay with that.
You know, I was thinking it could have been security, because when Paige was getting her hair done, security, remember, kept on knocking on the door, that guy's door, trying to get him out.
Yeah, like I guess there was too much hairspray in the room or something.
People were complaining about the hairspray.
I was like, what is going on?
I have a story. This happened quite a while ago. I was giving up a title, and it was held at a casino in Minnesota, and they had all of the ladies changing in this room, and then it turned out to be this great big story on the news, but the people, the security people, were zooming in the camera in the dressing room on the girl.
Oh my gosh.
And somehow it came out, and it was just this big deal on the news. And luckily, I was giving up my title, so I had a different room, so I wasn't in that room. But I was like, "Oh my God, that's insane!"
No. I've been in more dressing room when there's men in there, and I'm like, "Excuse me."
That's
I'm
a
like,
little
do
weird.
you know that this is a woman's dressing room?
My favorite is when the dressing room door gets left open, and
Right.
there's like 10,000 males standing outside. I'm like, hi! Like, can we close that, please? So funny.
No.
You've
And-
never had that experience?
Yes, I have.
We all have.
I was going to say, I swear we all have.
No, we really all have. You don't even notice it.
As a director, you guys need to put a sign up that says "Women Only" for the dressing room. I mean, there's
Sure.
men just walk in and out, and I'm like, I
love
cannot
that.
believe this.
Right. There was a girl who
Well,
was...
I
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Latasha.
No, I was saying, so I recently just competed in the Today's American Woman pageant, and there were these lovely gentlemen that were volunteering to, kind of hold up the fort by the dressing room, but the door like kind of had a catch to it, so like it would stay propped open,
Yeah.
and we were across from this huge courtyard in like the Embassy Suites where it's like the greenery and people are sitting and eating. And like I guess another girl was sitting down and she kind of looks and she's like, oh my God, I can see straight into that room. And people are in their Spanx, we're doing what we do in a dressing room. And so someone came in and like, you have to keep this door shut because we are getting a show, out there in the courtyard. And I was like, oh my gosh. Luckily I was off to the corner, and I'm kind of like, I do like a stealthy change kind of thing. So, but yeah.
That's what Paige was doing. Her last one, she's sitting there taking everything off, and I walk in there and I say, Paige, it was directly into an.
I'm like naked in front of the window.
It's right into an office. Right into an office.
I didn't think about it. I was like, no one's working today. There's a pageant. I know. I can't believe I did that.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, like times like those, you don't really think. You're just trying to get dressed so quickly.
Right.
You don't care who sees you.
No, I care. Sorry.
I mean, I care, but
And they might
but I
care
don't think
too.
they could see me.
That's good.
Oh, wait, I think we had a shout out. I think we had a shout out from Taikisha.
Hi, Taikisha.
Hi, Taikisha. All right.
Hi, Taikisha.
So I think we can wrap up for the night, but before we do, we will give our shout outs to our biggest fans, Paula of Australia, Mario, and Taikisha.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
There are pageants, and also to Applejack and Patrick.
Yes,
Patrick.
and Rocco.
And Rocco. Woo.
All right, so if we want to wrap up and you can just promote your platform and tell us how to reach you. And Latasha, we'll start with you. Sorry, I was trying to do
I like that I get to go first. I mean, this is, this is special here. No, I'm kidding. Hey, I feel good. I feel good. So, yes, I'm Today's American Ms., and that's a part of the Today's American Woman pageant. I'm also affiliated with the Miss Plus America pageant. I'm a director for them, and I have 8 girls going to be competing there in just about 2 months. So, both really awesome organizations for women of all sizes. And I think it's a great opportunity. But my platform, actually with this title, it's kind of cool because I kind of came out with a new platform. When I was competing for Miss Plus America, my platform was helping out single parents, because I still am a single parent. But in the last few years, I've had the opportunity to really work with a lot of women through my directorship opportunities and event planning opportunities as a mentor. And as a result, my new platform is actually empowering women through mentorship. I think equipping women, so many women have dreams and things they want to do, they just don't know how to do it. So I'm kind of like that practical. I mean, I don't mind being the fluffy cheerleader and, oh, you can do it, and post cute quotes, but I'm also about practical implementation. Some people just don't know what to do, and not just promoting themselves to be famous, but little, even simple things like I have a 4 Ps, and I'm almost done there, Paige, and that's purpose, understanding why you're doing what you're doing, why you want to be a part of this. Preparation, preparation plus opportunity equals success. Pageantry provides so many opportunities for women, but we're not prepared. And so we have those moments, maybe like I did in my first year, where I didn't even know what I was doing, so I wasn't able to catch that wave. The next thing is persistence. You might hear no, but you know what? That means you asked the wrong person. You need to go to the next one till you get that yes. And then lastly would be professionalism. I know it's not super deep, but if you think about it, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself, how you live your life, your lifestyle, how you carry yourself when you walk into a room, that will open up so many doors. So that's kind of a little bit of an elevator speech about my platform and what I'm doing while I'm promoting my new title, as well as still being a director and a mentor to the girls that are part of my program. So thank you so much for having me, and it's been a joy sharing this time with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really great advice. So thank you so much for coming tonight. And next we have Michelle.
Hi. First of all, Latasha, what a wonderful platform. I commend you on that, girl. That's awesome because there are so many women out there that really need that. So kudos to you. I love it. And I'd love to stay in touch with you as well.
Yes, likewise.
Absolutely. Well, again, my name is Michel, and I know the last name is kind of catchy, but anyhow, never forget my name. my platform, it's a bit edgy, and I really target this. It's been about 2 years now, and it's human trafficking, and I mainly focus on American children because thousands of American children are at risk each year for being trafficked. And one of the most important things to me, I think what really stands out is that I have children. I'm a mother of 3, and the average age of a child that is being trafficked within the United States, an American child, is 12 years of age. And that's very young. And my youngest daughter, she's about to be 11. And when I first started to research this, and when I first heard about it, I really thought, American children? Is this really happening in our country? It is. And the numbers of these children, it's alarming, and it's frightening, really, to be very truthful with you. So anyhow, I'm really wanting to bring awareness, and what we're doing is I'm a spokesperson for Traffic 911, and Traffic 911, what we're doing is we are educating hospitals, schools. We are going around, and we're just really putting the word out there because a lot of doctors, they're not aware that these are children that have been trafficked. And we did an orientation with Cook's Children's Medical Center here in Fort Worth, and in 2007 to 2011, 0 children were reported. Within an 8-month period after our orientation, 11 children were actually rescued and were identified that were sexually exploited children. And so
congratulations on that work. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. And one of the areas that we're really focusing on as well is in the state of Texas, there is not a facility that treats these children. So when they are rescued, there's really nowhere for these children to go. Well, in the state of Texas, we have all come together, and we are raising money for a home, and it's called the Triumph House. And in this Triumph House, it sits on 168 acres, and it's in a very secluded and remote area. There are medical doctors that will treat these children physically, that will treat these children emotionally because they're very suicidal, and to get these kids rehabilitated and off of drugs because that is how they are controlled. And just really just to be able to wrap your arms around these children and just let them know that they are loved, and that there's someone and there's an opportunity. And I think the most important thing is that there's hope for these children. So my platform, as edgy as it may be, it sits so much into my heart because I know my children, they know without a shadow of a doubt that they have a mom and a dad, that if anything were to ever happen to them, that they have someone that will back them up, that will be there for them, that will be their advocate. These children have no one. So that I want to be their voice. So when we were talking about earlier the integrity of the crown, that is my children, that we are out promoting this. Each one of these children, when I meet them, I will put this crown on their head and I will let them know that they are loved. So that is my platform, and And I would love for you ladies just to put the word out and to help me on this.
Yeah, real quick, Michelle, I think Stephanie and I have been dealing with international queens on international children trafficking, and I believe there's 2 million children from the ages of 5 to 15 that are trafficked every year. We are currently working a charity event, and eventually we are going to work on human trafficking because we deal with women, or queens in Singapore, Thailand, where it's in their backyard. So we'll loop you into that. I think that's going to be our second fundraiser. So you're more than welcome. We can also include your charity in that. So
absolutely,
we'll definitely remember that, Stephanie.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the work. It's not edgy. It's
Thank you so
needed.
much, Michelle.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
And now to Raven.
As I said, I am the reigning Miss North America Galaxy, and I am fortunate enough to have my own foundation. I started it because I went through a period in my life where I really was torn down by the things that people did and the things that they said to me, and I really let it get the best of me. And there was a point in my life where I decided, like, this is not who I am. I'm not this introverted person. I am not this person with low self-esteem. So I decided to completely turn my entire life perspective and my life view around. And I decided to take those negative things that people said to me and the negative things that they did to me and turn them into steam to power me forward to achieve the goals that I would set for myself. And I always figured at the end of the day, as long as I was setting goals and accomplishing them, and I can look in the mirror and be happy with what I saw on the outside as well as the inside, there was nothing that anybody could do or say that would bring me down. So eventually, when I was 18 years old, I started my own foundation, which is called Bullied Beautiful. And basically my message to people is, bullying doesn't have to tear you down, and although it is an ugly thing, you as a person can turn it into something beautiful in the end, because you can take those negative things, like I said, and turn them into a positive, which will get you so far in life. And if you let those things tear you down, that's exactly where you're going to stay. You're going to stay down. You're not going to continue to achieve things, be a happy person. So that's my number one goal, is just to teach people that with or without a crown, with or without, you know, a particular clique that you're in, you can make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others simply by speaking up and saying, this is not okay, and I will not allow this. And not only will I not allow this, but I'm going to take this negativity and turn it into a positive. So you know what, at the end of the day, I know that I will ultimately be a better version of me, and in reality, be a better version of who you are. So that was always just my goal. So I'm a motivational speaker, and I go around and I basically talk to schools, talk to a group of women, talk to children. I just did a fantastic inspirational Princess Tea Party where I got to speak with young girls of all ages, and some of the things that they tell you and some of the things that they say is so heartbreaking to hear that it's happening at such a young age, and that there's not enough attention that's being brought to this topic, and it's just so heartbreaking. I always start off with, everybody, I want you to raise your hand if there's anything that's been said or done wrong to you, and every hand in the room flies up. And I'll just pick a few random, and I mean, there was somebody as young as, I think she was 5, 6, or 7, and I said, go ahead, what is one thing, you know, that you feel like is wrong with you, or that, you know, somebody else has said is wrong with you? And she said, sometimes I don't feel beautiful enough for my mother, and I don't feel good enough for my mother. And hearing things like that is so heart-wrenching and so heartbreaking, and if I can just change one life and teach them that it's not about who you are on the outside or who people perceive you to be on the outside, it's about who you are on the inside. That's my main goal, is basically I want you guys to realize you are important, you can make a difference, and no matter what people are saying and doing to you, you can rise above it and be a better version of who you are, and at the end of the day, you are going to be awesome.
Well, Raven, who's laughing now? You're beautiful and accomplished, you know. So
you know what? As much as I don't want to toot my horn, but at the end of the day, you know what? all those people that were so rude to me and did so many awful things, like so many awful things, I look at them now and they are just stuck. They're stuck in a rut, and I am, I own my own businesses. I have my 2 companies that I own my foundation, and it's just, you know what? I look back and it's, you know what? If they didn't put me through that and I didn't go through that bullying, I don't think I would have pushed myself as hard as I did. So I'm thankful for them, actually.
Very good. Congratulations, Raven.
Thank you.
That's beautiful work you're doing.
Really is. Thanks for coming, Raven.
Thanks.
And now we have Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Stephanie McGrane, International Super Ms., reminding you to always buckle up. I can tell you that out of all the people that die in car crashes every year, about half of those lives could have been saved if those people were buckled up. That's a tremendous number of lives every year, so please make sure you're buckled. And it's a message that people hear again and again, but not everyone does it. And I'm a teacher. I work at a school, and I have cars that line up outside my window, and I send some kids out the door. And just the other day, I saw one of my students get into their parents' car and drive off. They were not buckled up. They were standing in the back seat. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I don't understand how you cannot buckle your own child in. Most times my students will say they're buckled in and their parents are not. Again, please, parents, buckle up. You want to be there for your kids. Make sure all passengers are buckled. I used to think it was okay until I started doing research about seatbelt safety. Oh, it's okay. You can have your passengers. If they don't want to buckle up, that's fine. At least I'm buckled up. But they can become lethal flying objects in a crash. They can bounce around the car and kill the people that are buckled up. So it's not enough for you to be buckled up. Everyone needs to be buckled up. Never drive impaired. Never text and drive. Put the phone down. Arrive alive. And I want to invite you to check out America's Super Pageant. The contestants for this year's pageant have been posted, so you can check them out at americasuperpageant.com. You can find us on Facebook. Come find me on Facebook, Stephanie McGrane. And it was wonderful discussing all the crazy pageant stories tonight and hanging out with all of you beautiful ladies. So thanks for letting me come on.
Thank you, Stephanie. We love having you on.
Yay, thank you, Paige.
And now we will go to Pamela Purvett.
I want to thank you to our fans, our viewers, our title holders, our queens, our scholarship participants. We have grown so much in this year. We are taking a break only for the summer. We will be doing other things, like as I discussed before, we're going to be doing an international charity fundraiser. Stephanie and I and Paige are working on that. Stephanie's also going to be doing Ask the Crown. You'll be seeing that. This will be one-on-one videos and interviews that she will be working on. We're also going to be working on educational pieces. So we will be around. But you know what? Keep on sending us the ideas for shows. Continue watching. We're going to continue creating content for you. But I want to thank everyone. We have came so much. We've grown so much. And I want to thank you, Paige, for everything, and I want to thank you, Stephanie. You've really helped us grow, and I want to thank everyone else, and thank you for the great stories.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a blast.
Paige, you want to sign off?
Yeah, so thanks everyone so much for coming tonight, and thank you to all of our viewers. If you would like to be a guest on next season's shows, you can email us at show@pageantlive.com. You can always tweet to us at PageantLive right on our Facebook wall or right on our YouTube page. And be sure to check out our website as well. Thank you all so much for coming tonight, and I hope you guys have had a great time.
Thank you, Paige. Love you, baby. Glad you're back.